rain tomorrow as well. Maybe in the late evening side tomorrow. Who knows? Or maybe just more cloudy, and we might get some more rain back on the Friday side or Thursday side of things. Excuse me, when it comes to that. So hopefully for those rain fanatics, I hope you're enjoying it. What do we got on the show today? 2 hours, like I said, we're going to talk about a lot of different things. Talk about, of course, the NFL offseason. We got Olympic school hoops as well. He's going to be at some games tonight, so haven't had Gabe on in a while, so I'm looking forward to talking with him. As I said, we go up till 5 o'clock today. We sign off for the final hour, and we will head on over to Fresno Christian for what should be a very good matchup between the Eagles and the Vikings. Before I get to any of it, though, of course, want to lay out the runway for our producer here as well, who's on the show. Of course, we're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch as well. If you want to check out the video portion of our show, Jorge here with me producing the show for the 2 hours and the duration today. Of course, he's in it with me all the way through the end of our basketball game tonight. So in for the long haul today, Jorge. But, you know, where else you got to go with all this rain, huh?
Nowhere I'd rather be.
Right?
You know?
You sit here and watch the rain outside the window.
Watch the rain and let's do some basketball.
Yeah. Not too bad of a Tuesday night, huh? Anyways, no, it's good to be here. Good to be talking all kinds of sports. We love talking sports. We love getting the people. We're going to be talking all kinds of sports. We love talking sports. We love getting the people going here on the show. Of
course.
A lot of things to talk about. Of course, like I said, the rundown that we have today. I had a lot of different topics I wanted to get to today. We haven't really touched baseball, have we, this year? Barely touched it maybe once or twice here. But, Jorge, that famous line, pitchers and catchers reports, usually gets a lot of people riled up and excited and happy and ready for the new baseball season. And I was just getting our promotional tickets put together today because we can always give away tickets for some folks. You can win tickets always if you follow us on our socials. Got all kinds of different opportunities for you to win some baseball tickets. Teams are down in Arizona and Florida getting ready to play some spring training games. Actually, Jorge, I looked at my calendar here, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, we play some games on Friday. Some spring training games on Friday, and not our games, of course. We don't, not the Giants, but teams play as early as Friday for Major League Baseball for spring training. How exciting is that?
Yeah. I got the schedule last weekend, and then I was like, wow, this is a little bit early for me, but at the same time, it's mid-February, so yeah, it's about time.
Of course, baseball in a volatile spot with their head of their PA, the Players Union, going down, resigning today, Tony Clark. So you can read kind of more about it on ESPN. I don't got much comment.
A lot of things are happening.
Yeah, a lot of
things are happening.
A lot of things, and
I think there's gonna be changes coming in here soon.
Well, you got to bet, right? But we'll see. This is such an interesting year because a lot of it's on the line in terms of what the teams are preparing for. Is 2027 going to happen? Everyone is doom and gloom about that in terms of that, but maybe we value baseball more this season because of it, and maybe there's a more pressing need to want to win because of that, because you never know what kind of window you have if you lose a year because of a strike or anything like that. So I get a sense that this year has just a little more weight to the teams that are maybe in that mid to contending tier out there when it comes to winning a title this year. Of course, everyone's chasing the Dodgers, but I do think there's certainly room for other teams to have that kind of conversation. But Jorge, do you agree with me that maybe there's a little more incentive to go for it, because who knows what you'll be missing next year if you don't have a season, and then what 2028 will look like in terms of it. So I think teams are certainly more pressed to win this year than maybe more usual years.
Yeah, definitely is. It's a little bit different there's a feeling that you got to do something this year,
right?
You know? Feeling that you don't know if next year is going to be this like a full season, maybe half season,
Yeah.
and that could certainly damper some dreams.
Exactly. And one of those teams that I think is a mid to potential upper tier team that you can be bullish on is the San Francisco Giants, right? Because of the additions they made midseason. You have now a full off season of Rafael Devers. You add a couple pieces. You really, I would say, top 5 infield offensive output in Major League Baseball right now, if not top 3. I feel like if you in theory you feel like this is one of the best offensive infields out there, taking out the catcher for position, of course, but from third to first, and anything in between, I have a hard time thinking of who's better in terms of it. Maybe the Dodgers, but I think depth wise,
I feel like because they're in the West, they have to do something to, separate themselves from the Dodgers.
Right.
The Dodgers pretty much already have that number 1 spot set, or at least, the very least, number 2. So you're fighting for half a spot, really.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. It's difficult when already at the beginning of the season, you're already just fighting for something that's less than everybody else's.
Yeah. I think it's going to be fascinating to see what this Giants team will look like. And I think everyone is fascinated what this team will look like, especially with a new coach at the helm in Tony Vitello, right? But he seems to be focused on something else right now. And I don't know if you saw what his quotes were yesterday. Does it kind of rile up some Giants fans?
I did hear.
I have the sound here.
Bit,
I have the sound queued up for
Go for it.
I do have the sound queued up here. So here's what Tony Vitello was. This was right when he sat down for his media availability to the folks, the media in Arizona, and this was on the top of his mind.
When did you first think I was taking this job? Or do you remember that far back?
Yeah, it was about 4 days before it actually happened, 5 days before.
Yeah, that's funny you say that because that was not reality, at all. I don't know if Buster would feel the same way, but that wasn't the case. Somebody decides they think they got the information. The final blow was about 4 days later. And the thing I'm just kind of having a conversation, therapy, if you will, from walking out of there, but I needed confirmation from the coaches that I worked with that helped boost my status, that they were okay with what was going to go on and they were going to be okay with their jobs. That staff had always been built as like next man up, and all of a sudden that was being threatened. So it was kind of hard to do something for yourself and your teammates get left behind. But yeah, it was not 4 days for what it's worth. That was not the case at all. If you would have seen me in my condo, you would have agreed. So, but anyway.
Why do you ask?
Because somebody tweeted it out. I don't know who told them. I wish I did. And, it might have changed the course of history if I would have known who did, to be honest with you. But it just bothers me because, I don't know. You see people angry on this. I hate to get philosophical, but you see people angry on the streets for a lot of times stuff that's not even true. People arguing and you don't know what reality is.
And he goes on to say how he dealt with the situation of this Tennessee players and coaches and they're headstrong or whatever, anything like that. But I very interesting introspective moment for Vitello. However, it's February. And when did he take the job? Back in November? And my number one question for this whole quote that kind of caught the internet by storm, especially Giants fans, is, dude, no one cares. Right?
Yeah.
Why is he bringing this up 4 months when you're getting ready to coach at the highest level you coached before in your life, in the most, once in a lifetime potential opportunity for you to prove that dudes like you can coach in the majors instead of just being career college guys. And yet you sit here and you're being retrospective about the semantics of when something was reported versus what was actually true 4 days before or 4 days whenever you actually got hired for the job. I found it very strange that he's sitting there and this is what he brought it up. Nobody brought it up. He brought it up. It must have been on the top of his mind. I don't know what he was dealing with in terms of that.
The question was...
Nobody answered. It started with no question. He asked, when did you know I was taking the job? And one of the reporters, she was there, said, I think we knew about 4 days before. He said he found that interesting. So it must have been a conversation before the cameras turned on and everything like that.
Before the mics turned on, something.
But I think it's just strange for him to sit there and kind of waste the time and waste the idea of talking about something that's totally in the past when you should be getting your damn team ready to play baseball in February for the spring training. You're coaching the San Francisco Giants. You're not coaching Tennessee. Who cares?
I don't know. I feel like that was just a conversation. It wasn't like he was really down on it. But I feel like, if maybe they would have asked for it, and maybe if they would have asked him that, and he's volunteering that out. But
he volunteered this out, though.
Yeah, no. Yeah. He definitely volunteered this out. But at the same time, it's like he just not really. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's that much of a deal. At least not to me.
I get that, but to me, I'm like a player, and I listen to that. I'm like, dude, why is my manager talking about the last job? Like, when have you ever heard a coach want to talk about the last job? You should be focused on the next job. If I'm a pro, I'm like, dude, you're in the pros. I don't care what happened with Tennessee. I need you to be focused on my team.
I feel like we're missing something here. Like, was he asked about it, or
no? He just sat down and just started spewing.
I started talking to
the scrum of reporters.
Maybe the reporters knew something, or they were talking
This is him sitting down, Monday availability, literally unprompted. They didn't talk to him until Friday.
This is the very first one, isn't it?
Yeah, the first time he sat with reporters for spring training, and what he needed to do was clarify
I could
him leaving Tennessee, as opposed to, hey, how am I making this?
Maybe he had a chip on his shoulder, and maybe about people knew about other things that they should have known.
You're in the pros, dude. Like, you're in the show. Like, you gotta kind of act like you're in the show, as opposed to what you care about what Tennessee thought. And probably all the fans hated the fact that he left and whatever. I don't know what the reaction was to it, but I sit there and look at this reaction to him reflecting on this, and as a player, if I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, I'm ready to just focus on what makes this team better. How can we get the fundamentals ready to make things happen? What is our purpose as a team this year when you have and by the way, I kind of looked at every lineup over that interview, over that quote. I looked at every lineup in baseball, and the Giants do have the best offensive infield in baseball right now. Like, they're the only team fielding their top four in the lineup on the infield. Right? Their whole infield's the top four of their lineup, plus Bryce Eldridge. Ever heard of him? So I think it was a miscalculation of PR, whatever it was. And frankly, Giants fans don't really care about when he took the job and when he didn't. You have the job now. And I think it was a miscalculation of maybe somebody said something and he got ticked off a certain way about the way something was said. However, you have a job to do, man. This is your first spring training. This is your time to set the tone. This is your time to get the team ready and put together a group that, last year had some moments where, frankly, they played a little bit of gutless baseball. They didn't have leadership. We talked about this before, right? They kind of went off to that hot start, and then the Giants kind of faded around because nobody was really kind of busting them out of those slumps. Eventually faded into the fray and didn't contend for playoffs. This happened 2 years in a row, 3 years in a row under Bob Melvin. We knew that. So I don't want the same thing to happen. If I'm a Giants fan, I don't want the same thing to happen again this year. I need something different. I need something where people are focused. I need where these players are completely focused and ready for the rigors of 162 games. And frankly, my manager, if I'm a player, if my manager's sitting there talking about what happened at Tennessee and why the semantics of 4 days matters to when I left versus when you knew I was leaving, and it affecting whatever at Tennessee, my friendships and my relationships with the coaches. I'm sorry. The cold hard truth is you're managing this team now, and I need you to be managing this team moving forward. I don't need you to be worried about Tennessee. So that's kind of my 2 cents on it. I know some other local media were picking up on it. Some Giants fans were feeling a certain way, and I just kind of feel like that's just kind of where my take is on it. And so I hope he kind of takes what he said there yesterday and turns it into, okay, maybe I shouldn't be spouting off anymore about Tennessee. I'll talk about it with my friends. I'll keep it behind closed doors. Keep it behind closed doors is fine, but talk about the San Francisco Giants, man. You're the manager. Let's talk about the Giants. And that's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
So there you go. Let's take a break. We're just getting started. 2 hours here on this show. What do we got coming up next? We're going to talk some NFL offseason stuff. Niners got a decision on a franchise tag, and the Super Bowl champ is not going to get their MVP tag. They're not going to try to keep their MVP. It's going to be interesting. We'll see. Let's take a break. We'll be right back on 1430 ESPN.
The Central Valley Sports Leader has you covered for the local angle with the Central Valley Sports Report hosted by Paul Meadors. Paul is back for year 5 and is ready to give you the insight and knowledge of everything you need to know when it comes to high school sports. From the coaches and player interviews to the game recaps week by week, as well as talking with all the insiders that have the pulse when it comes to prep sports in the Central Valley. Central Valley Sports Report, airing 10 a.m. to noon. Live from First String Sports every Saturday on 1430 ESPN Fresno.
Horn Barbecue is now open in Fresno's Granite Park. A true Bay Area legend, Fresno's first Michelin Award-winning pitmaster, Matt Horn, brings his slow smoked brisket, ribs, and killer barbecue. Say hello to greatness at Horn Barbecue, where real smoke meets real flavor. It's West Coast barbecue at its finest. Whether you're feeding the family or firing up game day, Horn Barbecue has plates piled high and plenty to share. Horn Barbecue, now open in Fresno's Granite Park, on Cedar between Ashland and Dakota. Check out the menu today at hornbarbecue.com.
Hey, it's Phil Bonatti from Behind the Bench. A new season means big plays, hard hits, and injuries we track every week. But injuries don't just happen on the field. When life knocks you down, you need a strong team behind you. That's Davis and Van Wagenen, attorneys at law right here in Fresno. Davis and Van Wagenen fight for Valley families hurt in accidents, and you don't pay unless they win. It's a winning game plan from Davis and Van Wagenen. Visit davisvanwagenenlaw.com. Davis and Van Wagenen, your hometown injury attorneys.
For over 60 years, we at DeBudo Defendus Insurance, a multi-generational and family-owned company, have proudly provided high-quality risk management and insurance solutions to local businesses. We stand on a tradition of solving insurance pain points in a wide range of industries like agriculture, construction, hospitality, transportation, and many others. A partnership and personal touch is what you can expect from us at DeBudo Defendus Insurance. Visit DIBU.com and get the business insurance you need today.
License number 0E02096.
Citizens Business Bank is a proud sponsor of the Fresno State Bulldogs. Hi, I'm Susan Woosner, Senior Vice President and Manager of Citizens Business Bank in Fresno. We proudly support California's thriving small to medium-sized businesses. Our relationship-based approach and straightforward business model set us apart in the financial services industry. We are a banking partner that understands your industry and your company. Whether you're expanding operations or planning for the future, Citizens Business Bank is here to help ensure your banking experience is smooth, convenient, and aligned with your success. My team strives to build long-term banking relationships by getting to personally know you and your business, and then providing you with a wide array of powerful solutions customized to your unique financial needs. Visit cbbank.com to learn how Citizens Business Bank can help contribute to your success. That's cbbank.com. Citizens Business Bank, N.A., Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Everyone loves shopping online. Well, I'm going to tell you what I tell my golf buddies when they buy clubs. Stop searching for coupon codes. Download Capital One Shopping to your computer. Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them at checkout. Plus, it's free, and you don't even need a Capital One card to use it. That's like hitting a hole-in-one without even trying. Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius. What's in your wallet?
Savings and available coupons vary. Progressive knows there are two things RV owners love: to travel and relax. And they like to take both nice and slow. Just like this commercial. And what's more relaxing than the peace of mind knowing their RV is protected by Progressive? Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
You can't touch this.
Leader, hey, a reminder for you out there, the Toledo's Restaurant. By the way, I went to Toledo's Restaurant last night. Delicious up there in North Fresno. Had myself some chicken and shrimp fajitas. But did you know, Jorge, they got this 10 for $10 deal menu, and if you use the promo code ESPN, you get 5% off on that deal or any other meal you choose. I love me some Toledo's. I was telling you about the fried ice cream last night.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I haven't tried it. I'm going to have to go try it now.
Fried strawberry ice cream. My brother was like, I don't know you could fry ice cream.
Yeah, you could pretty much fry anything.
Like, he's like, how do they do it without it melting? And I'm like, I don't think I got to, like, super chill it, and then they, like, you can bread it up, and then it'll get all nice and melty after a little bit. I don't know. It was delicious. It was absolutely delicious. My fajitas were delicious. And you have the 10 for $10 deals there at Toledo, so be sure to stop by. Use that promo code ESPN. $5 off, man. You can do a lot with $5. So go to locations, Fresno and Columbus. Yeah.
I'm salivating now.
Jorge knows.
Talking about ice cream.
Yeah, Jorge knows. Jorge knows what he wants there for dinner. All right. We got some NFL conversations. I saw some fascinating conversations in regards to some franchise tag news. The Niners do have a choice to make on the franchise tag, Jorge. Did you know they have a player up for the franchise tag?
Is it
very important position for the 49ers. Very what do you call it? I said important. I don't want to key position for the 49ers.
No.
Eddie Pinheiro is up for the franchise tag for the 49ers.
Kicker, right?
Yeah. Now, is $6 or $7 million something you want to be paying a kicker, Jorge, in terms of that for next year? Well, maybe after you had the Jake Moody adventures for the last couple of years, maybe Eddie P is worth it. You want to see Eddie P go long term for the Niners, right?
Yeah, I think I'll keep him. Yeah, it's a little bit expensive, but I don't think you're gonna find anything as accurate as he has been.
Yeah.
I know that most of the times you pay kickers and all of a sudden they start missing. So hopefully that doesn't happen here. I feel like he could do well.
Eddie P going 28 for 29 this year. His lone miss was off the crossbar for 64 yards. 34 for 38 from the extra point side of things. I saw I think one of his longest. I think it was in LA in week 5 against the Rams. So Eddie P coming up clutch for those 49ers this year. People love Eddie P, man.
Yeah, especially, he had a weird career because he had cut quite a few times now.
Right.
And then it just happened to land at the right place at the right time.
Exactly. Kenneth Walker's up for the franchise tag. By the way, of all the people I saw, Jorge, not many people can recognize general managers of football teams. But I couldn't help but notice that I was standing at Pebble Beach 2 days ago, and I saw general manager John Schneider for the Seattle Seahawks was standing next to me. And I was walking by him. Because you only get to recognize the people when they show them on the television. They show John Schneider from time to time, but he had a big Seattle Seahawks beanie on, and he was rocking it with some guys, and he was enjoying the golf tournament. But I wonder what kind of decision he has to make on Kenneth Walker, who's up for it. And the Seahawks don't traditionally use it. I would imagine Kenneth Walker probably wants to stay. Especially he has leverage knowing that the Seahawks don't have Zach Charbonnet for at least a little bit at the start of next season because of the torn ACL situation, right? So it's fascinating to think a Super Bowl MVP could be potentially on the move if they don't use the tag. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to kind of pay attention to where he goes. That would help the Niners, certainly, if he ends up not being in the division, right?
Definitely. I mean, if he's not, we don't have to face him twice a year, then
Right.
I love that.
Right. Well, there's a lot of free agents out there in terms of it this NFL offseason, and there's going to be a lot of decisions to be made in terms of where everyone is going to make the moves and who has the ability to make moves in terms of it. The 49ers, if you want to just get reminded of their cap space situation going into this season, which the cap, by the way, got raised. It was from, I think it got raised over $300-something million right now. Yeah, $300 million based off of, the TV money and all that stuff. And currently the Niners have let's see, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're the 10th most cap space in the National Football League right now, Jorge. 10th most. They got some money to spend. $41 million to be exact. Almost $42 million.
Yeah. I feel like they're just waiting to make the right moves, waiting for the. I feel like we're gonna spend a little bit of money once we see what we get from the draft.
Well, you don't want to wait for the draft. You can't wait for the draft to make the free agent signings, right? You got to make some moves in terms of it, right? March, because the effective new league year, I think, is in March, I believe. So it's going to be interesting.
Is that when? Is that when we have to have it?
Yeah. Huh. Well, no, you don't have to, but I'm just saying, new NFL new league year start is March 11th. And then once that happens,
so you're saying if we wait, we're going to get the
you don't want to wait after the draft.
The rest of the rest.
You don't want to wait after the draft. You want to make your moves here now, and you want to strike. And by the way, the teams we talk about, the Raiders, the Rams, the Niners, all in the top 10 in cap space right now. So maybe we can do a little spending here, Jorge. Want to do a little spending right now?
Maybe
a little shopping spree?
Get your team ready and then compliment yourself with the draft.
Yeah, why not? I'm going through ESPN ranked top 50 free agents. I'm not going to name every person on the 50, but I'm just going to name some interesting names out there if there's somebody out there that would be fascinating. First name I find fascinating for any of our teams, Raiders, Rams, and Niners. Number 2 ranked free agent, they have George Pickens. And now he could be a Cowboy with the tag and all that stuff. But maybe there's an option there if he ends up not getting tagged, and maybe you're looking for your JSN kind of pop out if you're a Raider fan, and maybe George Pickens screams a Raider coming up here.
Who was the one that Cowboys franchise tag?
Says they haven't tagged him yet, but sounds like he's staying in Dallas, but maybe he doesn't. Maybe things breaking down.
He did get tagged.
Yeah.
I think I read that somewhere that he got a tag.
Okay.
But it might have been somebody else.
Maybe. But doesn't mean George Pickens is happy about the tag. We'll see. Alec Pierce is a name I'm hearing as well. Alec Pierce, who is a former Colts. Tennessee, of course, is a name we're hearing for as far as he is concerned. Tennessee has the most cap space, but like I said, you want the Raiders to get a little aggressive maybe in finding their guys. If you're going to surround Mendoza with anything, you need line, offensive line. Maybe there's a Tyler Lindenbaum out there for the Giants as far as that's concerned. But it sounds like he might be staying there as well. Alec Pierce is a name I'm hearing in terms of a guy he can go somewhere else. Let me keep scrolling down this list here. Now, they got a corner at 12, Alontae Taylor, who, if you heard about him, I believe he was a Saint last year in terms of it, and was a really decent fit for the Saints last year. They have him going to the Rams, Jorge. ESPN does. as the 12th best potential free agent. Of course, the Rams struggling with the corner position, and that showed up ugly-wise in their NFC Championship loss to the Seattle Seahawks. But certainly corner help is on the list of priorities for the Rams. And for Rams have $44 million, almost $45 million worth of cap space open that they can play with. They're actually, it's fascinating. Because, Jorge, if you look at the top 10 of cap space, you have your usual suspects, but then you have the Chargers in there. You have the Seahawks in there. You have the Rams in there, and the Steelers, and the Niners. 5 of the top 10 cap space openings are teams that made the playoffs. And the Patriots sit right at 11, Jorge. So we're talking both Super Bowl teams are top 11 cap space. That's fascinating to me. But what do you think of Alontae Taylor for the Rams? They got to get corner, right? If you had to put a number one position for the Rams offseason, it's corner.
Yeah, their secondary definitely needs some help.
Right. Yeah, certainly does. Is Mike Evans any conversation here?
Wide receiver Mike Evans?
Yeah, for a Niner or a Raider situation.
Not what the Niners need. Maybe experience-wise for the Raiders.
Yeah, he would look good in a Raider uniform.
Mike Evans.
I think so.
Yeah, probably.
Sometimes, I do the free agency test, and I just look at them in a jersey, and I'm like, they'll look good in a Raider jersey, right?
Like that doesn't fit them. It's not their thing.
It would look like it.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams looks so good in a Raider jersey.
He did.
He looked really good.
It fit him, but the team didn't. So
yeah. They got number 16 ranked Jalen Watson, corner for the Raiders as well. Former Chief switching over to the Raiders would be fascinating in terms of it. Who else they got? They were saying the Niners could look at tight end, of course. Isaiah Likely's out there. Would you be interested in Isaiah Likely, the longtime kind of number 2 guy for the Ravens behind Mark Andrews?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Who do we got?
Well, you won't have Kittle, and I think what happened to Tonjes? I thought Tonjes got hurt at the end of the year.
He's there. He's not. I don't think he was hurt. I think it was just like
it was a plantar fasciitis.
Yeah.
So he'll be back. He'll be back at the top of it. So you have Tonjes and whoever's there in terms of it. Romeo Doubs, they have listed 21 overall on the rankings to the Raiders. Romeo Doubs, former Packer, potentially. He can be reliable.
Now him, I would be interested in a little bit.
For the Niners or the Raiders?
Yeah, the Niners.
Yeah? Okay.
I think so. I think his skills match that what we're missing. So
all right.
Maybe.
They say Juwan Jennings not sticking around, by the way.
Yeah, probably not.
Looks like Carolina's the best fit for him, they said.
Well, I mean, I think we paid him twice already, right? So
yeah, no, and he seemed a little disgruntled.
Yeah.
A little bit. He was fighting some guys.
It felt like he was always the third back.
He was lagging around.
Even when the other two weren't around, he was still the third back.
R.I.P. to all those, little double pass plays that you have now. You can't run that with Juwan Jennings. Gone now.
Well, if we had Romeo Doubs.
Yeah, right? They got the Niners. 31 overall is Isaac Seumalo, and he's a guard, maybe going to the Niners in terms of it. Improve some pass protection for your guys out there. Zion Johnson, who is 33 overall, they got going to the Raiders. So a guard again in terms of it. Raiders just got to get that offensive line help figured out in terms of it. Man, that offensive line was so horrible. You cannot do that to Fernando Mendoza all next year of him just running for his freaking life. Like, that is just so malpractice if they just don't address any of it in terms of it. Outside of that, not much other action for some of the top free agent guys they have out there. They got Cam Curl leaving the Rams at 41 overall. They got him fitting maybe with the Bears, which would kind of stink for the Rams just to kind of see him go to that side. I feel like Rams-Bears could be a fun matchup for the rest of the next couple of years. Outside of that, I can't really see any other guys. Kenneth Gainwell, Not really a guy I'm kind of peeking at as far as the running back situation. Actually, for all three teams we cover is not that drastic. So, Wan'Dale Robinson's interesting for the Niners. That would be an interesting name, certainly, in terms of it. But outside of that, greatest need for the Raiders, offensive line for me. Greatest need for the Rams, corner, secondary. Greatest need for the Niners.
I would say wide receiver.
Wide receiver, another linebacker next to Fred. Like, just another one. I don't know. Maybe there's some guys in there. I don't know. It's so weird about the defense because the Niners can't convince themselves. I worry about the Niners offseason simply only because I think they're going to convince themselves that they're adding by getting Fred healthy and Nick healthy, Fred Warner and Nick Bosa healthy, and that they don't need to add. Those are their free agent ads, if you know what I mean.
I mean, I feel like if we keep some of those guys that played well last season, I think we'll be fine. But if we don't, add something in the I say the draft would be more likely to bring something in there.
Oh, he's going defense. They're going defenders all throughout. They can't be spending defenders. That's all they do at the top. There's no secret what Kyle Shanahan does. No secret. All right, let's take a break. Let's wrap up hour number 1 next on 1430 ESPN.
Cyber criminals stole $10 trillion from U.S. businesses last year. Did you know that 75% of businesses hit with ransomware do not survive? Is your company protected? Could your company survive a real-time cyber attack? Get a free consultation from M-Cubed Technologies today. Our team of cyber professionals are here to help and protect you from this real threat. Don't fall victim to cybercrime and risk losing your business. Contact M-Cubed Technologies today at mcubedtechnologies.com.
Now is a great time to review your company's retirement plan. Do you understand the advisory fees you're paying and the services you should be receiving? Is your current advisor making your life easier by handling all of those time-consuming questions from your employees and phone calls to your plan provider? Is your current advisor solely focused on company-sponsored retirement plans and able to keep up to date with ever-changing regulations so you feel confident that your plan is in compliance? Do you feel great about the investment options in your plan? Are you receiving quarterly updates on their performance? Employers who work with 401k specialists can answer yes to all of those questions. 401k Specialists is the dedicated retirement plan team powered by Thies & Duker Modern Wealth Management. Visit thiesandduker.com to learn more about how we work differently so you can answer yes to those questions. The advisors of Thies & Duker Modern Wealth Management are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Want to work somewhere fun, flexible, and rewarding? Me and Ed's is hiring. We're looking to expand our team with full and part-time positions at over 40 locations. Join our growing company as a delivery driver or valued team member today. For more information on job descriptions or to apply, go online at meandeds.com or visit your nearest location. Me and Ed's is hiring. Fill out an application.
So intense, so quick, so unmerciful. Those are just a few of the comments from farmers describing the devastating effects of their crop damage due to hail. If you're a farmer, you probably already know what it's like to watch helplessly as your cash crop is pummeled by hail. It's one of nature's most damaging weather conditions. What can you do about it? You can call Bowman & Associates, your local crop insurance specialist. They've been writing crop insurance for almost 40 years. Call Roger Kent or Quinn Bowman today and ask about crop hail insurance for stone fruit and grapes. They can design a private hail coverage that is specifically designed to meet your financial needs. Coverage can be purchased anytime and will go into effect within 72 hours. Easy to buy with no hassles. Don't gamble on your financial investment. Call the Ag experts today. Bowman & Associates. Remember, for a green thumb investment that equalizes Mother Nature, call Bowman & Associates. 499-2020. That's 499-2020.
Bowman & Associates, the crop insurance specialist.
License number OF64178.
Prices on steel and materials are going up, but at Pacific Steel Supply, they're still delivering the best deals in the industry. Whether it's residential, commercial, industrial, or ag projects, Pacific Steel Supply will match or beat any competitor's price by an extra 10% on top quality steel, metal roofing, and components. With 24/7 service, fast delivery, and the best prices, the time to act is now. Get your free quote today from Pacific Steel Supply in Fresno, Ashland, and Parkway off Highway 99 or online at pacificsteelsupply.com.
When you're vacationing in your RV, there are some things you can always count on. Laying out on a hammock, waking up to birds chirping, and board games with the family.
What? It's not cheating.
Frank, you're scaring the kids.
Oh, come on, guys. We're having fun. It's family time.
With Progressive, your RV is protected 24/7, so you're prepared for whatever you don't see coming.
Technically, it's a loophole.
It's a children's board game. You're a grown man, Frank.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. For what do we call it? Copyright purposes, I am not allowed to play the Olympic music on radio. I don't believe so.
Yeah, we're not. No.
I don't even know if I'm allowed to say the name Olympics.
No, you are, but
okay,
because
it's not like Super Bowl.
We're sports. We cover them, so we are.
Yeah. So
you can say Super Bowl too, just not in a way that you can make money out of it.
I'm making money right now, talking every word because I get paid.
No, but you're journalistically being
journalistic integrity. That's right. Yeah, looking at me. Let's do an Olympic update, huh? There we go. That's a great imaging, Jorge. Great imaging. U.S. women's yesterday absolutely shellacking Sweden 5-0. And the women are currently on a shutout streak of 331 minutes and 23 seconds, dating back to the tournament opener against Chechnya. And, Jorge, it's getting to a point where I don't think the United States is any realm of possibility of losing a gold medal in the women's ice hockey side.
Yeah, not the way that they've been destroying everybody.
Yeah.
It's literally all the games have been 5 or more goals.
Yeah.
And I think only one goal allowed.
Yeah.
In all the games. So
I'm trying to think of and I know I think of the really, really impossible to beat teams like U.S. women's soccer in 2015 or 2019. One of them was I just couldn't find a reason
15,
for them.
Yeah.
You couldn't find a reason they would lose, right?
Yeah.
In their run in terms of it. But this hockey team, is there never more of a gulf of talent and capable ability and international play in any sport
the
than
92
this?
Dream Team?
Yeah, basketball. U.S. basketball, which, by the way, U.S. basketball was teetering on the edge of some, I don't know. Well, U.S. women's basketball is pretty legit, too, in that sense. Although they got a little spooked in the gold medal 2 years ago. Right, in the summer games.
It changes from time to time, but there's some seasons, some Olympics that, there are teams that come out of nowhere. And maybe not really come out of nowhere. They're just so much better than everybody else. It's crazy.
Yeah. By the way, we had a gold in mono bobsledding, solo bobsledding yesterday. Elena Myers-Taylor becomes the oldest American to win a gold medal at the Winter Olympics, 41 years old, winning a gold. So congrats to her. Made her debut back in 2010 as 6 medals. Jorge, I watched a video of Colin Jost riding down a bobsled, and he said it's the most terrifying thing he's ever experienced in his entire life.
The sounds he makes while going down, that's hilarious, man.
I guess he's not a thrill seeker. I feel like that would have been, although really when you're in that bobsled and it just goes totally sideways, you're going to die.
I think you know what it was. I think he saw it and he thinks I could do this. And when it happened, he was not expecting it, how it went down.
Right.
That's why he was making those noises.
Crazy stuff. Back to the women's gold medal game on hockey. That's going to be Thursday. So what time is that at? Do we know? I don't know if I have a time. It is hard and impossible to kind of look up when these things are because nobody gives me the right time. Everything is in terms of the time zones and all of the craziness in terms of that. Let me see. Women's hockey. What do we got? Give it to me, Google. Come on. Gold medal game, 10 in the morning. Our time. 10 in the morning. 10:10 on Thursday. So there you go.
Against Canada, who are 3-1, and one is the United States.
Canada beat them 5-0 earlier this week. So
it'd be Canada 5-0.
It would be fair to say if the U.S. cannot win that game on Thursday, it would be the most catastrophic collapse in the history of sports.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, I'm looking at third place medal, and it's Sweden 4-0 against Switzerland.
Yeah.
Guess what the record is?
3-0? Or wait.
0-3.
0-3. They've lost. Why? It's crazy. It's crazy. Men's hockey, I saw that Sweden just beat Latvia a few hours ago.
Yeah, we were watching it, right?
We were watching it there. So Sweden is going to place United States tomorrow. Men's side of things, I believe.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to. This is where the intrigue is, right? United States quarterfinal tomorrow against Sweden. Let's see if I got the full schedule in front of me. Right, Sweden beats Latvia 5-1. Quarterfinals tomorrow. You want to wake up at 3 a.m. and watch Slovakia, Germany? Who knows? Not me, said I. 7:40. I might be up for Canada, Chechnya. Who knows? I'll lock in. You got 9 a.m. Finland and Switzerland going at it. And then at 12:10 tomorrow, USA, Sweden in the quarterfinal. Semifinals are going to be played Friday. I believe the U.S. is in that 12 o'clock semifinal. And then, Jorge, just the dumbest of all dumb things. Sunday. You know what time the gold medal game is? Sunday?
Hockey?
Our local time?
I want to say 6 a.m.
5:10 in the morning.
Jeez.
Hey, here's the thing, though. I went to Pebble a couple days ago. I woke up for 5 a.m. for that. And I have been having a hard time sleeping in lately. I've been up since like 6 a.m. Jorge. Maybe I should just be doing this now. Is this where old age turns in? When you wake up early, like a couple times, and suddenly your body's like, "This is the time you wake up." I've been like naturally waking up at 6:30. Am I just old, or is this just like my body not used to the sleep schedule right now?
Probably just got to get used to the sleep schedule.
I was playing video games last night at like 10:30, and I've caught myself a couple times just nodding off. Like I was just like. Leaning to the left a little bit and just like kind of drooping the eye, and then I'm like, "Oh, all right, hold on, I gotta play this."
You're pointing forward. Your character's pointing forward. In the sky, right. Looking at the sky.
Well, I was playing golf, so my guy was just sitting there, like in the stance, ready to hit the ball, waiting.
And the music starts playing.
Yeah. Exactly. A good thing I wasn't playing like the NFL and getting like delay games and stuff like that or anything like that. Anyways. I don't know what's tomorrow. What is tomorrow? What do we got? Wednesday. Like I said, they did the hockey today. I'm sure tonight, if you go to that primetime stuff, you'll see speed skating. You got the biathlon again, the men's side. You got the freestyle skiing. By the way, did you see that finish to, what was it, like moguls? And some lady accidentally, like, backflipped, like she was losing control, and she backflipped and then like landed backwards and moguled her way down and beat her opponent anyway. Have you seen this video?
I don't think I have.
I got to show you this video in the break, Jorge. It is one of the most gnarly finishes I've ever seen in Olympic history in terms of that. If people know what I'm talking about, then good on you, because this was insane. And I don't know how else to describe it other than she's going down the moguls, right? Because it's like the little mounds and they kind of do the knee thing and they go back and forth. And then she loses it. She kind of finds her way going backwards over a ramp, goes off the ramp backwards, able to still land backwards and skis backwards into the finish line, still beating her opponent who's going forward. Now, you don't get style points. It's a race. It's just crazy to me that she was able to stay balanced. I'm telling you, man, this video is insane if you get a chance to see it. So, I don't know, man. That was crazy. All right. We have another hour. And our guy, Gabe Camarillo, haven't had him on. When's the last time we had Gabe on?
I think about a month ago.
Usually about a month ago, right? Last time I had him on. Yeah, it was January. A couple weeks into January. So we had him on about a month ago.
Some breaking news on the MMA side.
Got 20 seconds.
Yeah, Gina Carano and I forgot her name.
Ronda Rousey?
Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, you were telling me. Yeah, that's right. Okay, they're back. You're going to fight?
Netflix.
Is it going to be worth it?
I don't know. They're kind of old now.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
Is it worth the Netflix subscription? Who knows? Stranger Things is pretty good, though. All right, Jorge, let's take a break. Let's wrap up this hour. We'll be back one more hour next, coming up on 1430 ESPN.
Get your day started with Rich Eisen.
Luka Doncic went through a bad breakup and decided, I'm going to get in shape because he's on the cover of Men's Health magazine. I must tell you this is beyond expectations. If you had to name a superstar in the NBA who would least be the last person to show up on the cover of Men's Health magazine, it would be him and James Harden, right? It would be a coin toss.
Rich Eisen, brought to you by Citizens Business Bank.
Hey seniors, planning your next step after graduation? The Foundation at FCOE is offering scholarships for Fresno County high school seniors heading to college or vocational education. Whether you're working towards earning a degree or learning a trade, these scholarships can help you get started. You've worked hard, now let us help you move forward. Applications open February 2nd. Learn more and apply at fcoefoundation.org. The Foundation at FCOE, empowering students, supporting educators, and strengthening communities.
Are you an athlete ready to level up your performance the raw way? Introducing the Raw Athlete Program from Raw Farm. High schoolers, college athletes, gym warriors, and pros, Raw Farm wants you to see why professional athletes and nutritionists are fueling up with Raw Farm raw whole milk to hit their team goals and personal gains. Raw Farm is the best 100% A2 cream top from seasonally grass-grazed cows, non-GMO, certified humane, 100% made in America, and crafted for serious gains. Visit rawfarmsusa.com to learn more and find it at your local Sprouts location through the nation.
When you think of California business machines, it wouldn't surprise me if you automatically thought 3-cent color copies. It's something CBM has become locally famous for. But now there's something else business owners are calling about: business phone systems. It's a beautiful thing. Copiers, printers, office phone systems, all with one simple call to California Business Machines. 559-225-5570 or online at cbmsolution.com.
Get your business noticed and stand out from the crowd by visiting Megaprints. Working with the Valley's most prestigious and high-profile businesses since 1998, we print and install custom-designed signs for businesses of all types and sizes. From yard signs to banners to wallpaper and fleet graphics, Megaprints has the state-of-the-art capability to turn the signage you've dreamed of into a reality. Visit megaprints.com today to see our work and what we can do for your business.
One of the most important keys to success is teamwork. Just like the Bulldogs football team, Fresno Rack has assembled a great team of their own. An industry leader in warehouse pallet racking and industrial warehouse shelving, Fresno Rack is truly your full-service one-stop shop. In-house CAD permit department, in-house installation crews, and of course, Fresno Rack's sales team is second to none. Whether you're looking to just fine-tune your warehouse and make it more efficient, or you're building a new warehouse and need a turnkey from start to finish, Fresno Rack is here to help. Call, click, or visit Fresno Rack today.
At Donald P. Dick, we aren't just HVAC specialists. We are a certified Lennox dealer. That means we offer the most energy-efficient products on the market, with savings you can see and perfect air you can feel. Your comfort is our passion, and we're with you every breath of the way. Enjoy great comfort and lower energy cost. Call Mr. Cool today and save on Lennox with special incentives and rebates from Donald P. Dick Heating and Air, 255-1644.
We started like you, a small team with a big dream to serve the Valley. 20 years later, FFB Bank is still proudly backing businesses across California and beyond. We've learned a lot about what it takes to grow, and now we're using that experience to make things easier for you. With our Switch and Save offer, we'll cover up to 90 days of payment processing, provide no-cost equipment, and offer competitive rates so your business can keep more of what it earns. And behind it all is a local team that truly understands your goals and is ready to help you reach them. Make the switch. Save with FFB. Visit ffb.bank to get started. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Your home for high school sports. 1430 ESPN, the Valley's local sports leader. KFIG Fresno.
I'm Christine Lisi. Michigan, the top-ranked men's basketball team in the country for the first time in 13 years, taking on number 7 Purdue tonight. Wolverines leading the Boilermakers 21-11 in the first half. North Carolina star forward Caleb Wilson, fractured left hand, will miss his second straight game tonight against NC State. Tip-off in moments on ESPN. Wilson is inching toward a return soon. Major League Baseball Players Association Executive Director Tony Clark resigned today after an internal investigation revealed an inappropriate relationship with his sister-in-law, who the PA hired in 2023. The union's probe came in the wake of a wide-ranging, still open federal investigation into the union's finances and other alleged improprieties. This with less than a year to go before the current labor deal expires, and the owners and players are polar opposites when it comes to a salary cap. ESPN's Jeff Passan.
The players are in unison right now. They don't want a cap, and it's the number one priority for Major League Baseball owners at this point, and it's really going to be the fulcrum of what this fight is about. The union has time now to get its ducks in a row, to get its messaging correct, and to try and convince a public that believes there should be a salary cap in Major League Baseball, the reasons that there shouldn't be.
A vote on an interim executive director expected as soon as tomorrow. Mike Evans will play a 13th NFL season with a team to be determined. The 32-year-old receiver will explore his options in free agency. Tiger Woods not ruling out a return to professional golf as early as the Masters in April. He said the aftermath of the back surgery he underwent last October is the issue.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Wednesday, we are weeks away from free agency in the NFL, but it's never too early to tell you the best landing spots for the biggest free agents available. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
He's got the knowledge.
Because once again, I have to come on there and talk about how right I am once again. In anything that it comes to sports.
He's got the questions.
I'm going to lose it. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
He's got the guests.
20th head coach in Fresno State history here, Matt. Is it hard to believe sometimes still the 20th head coach here in program history?
It's all moved really quickly here over the course of the last 5-6 weeks. But super excited to be here.
Phil Bonatti is the voice for the Central Valley sports leader. Behind the Bench starts now. Brought to you by Helena Agri.
That's right. Behind the Bench here at 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader, here on this wonderful Tuesday, rainy afternoon here in the Central Valley. We are here. We are one more hour on the show here before we send it out and come back at 6:45 right here for coverage of high school hoops playoff edition. Fresno Christian, Kingsburg, coming at you, 6:45 pregame, 7 p.m. tip. Paul Metters and I on the call from the House of the Eagles there at Fresno Christian High. Should be a very good one. Can't wait to bring it to you. The D3 playoff bracket. It's heating up. It's heating up for sure on that side of things. We got a lot of basketball. I'll get to the high school action one more time. A little refresher on the brackets. Why not in terms of it? But remind people, of course, tonight there's a big game in basketball. Fresno State going up against Wyoming. Fresno State leads over Wyoming by 2 games in the Mountain West. Fresno State 6-8 in the Mountain West. Wyoming 4-10. I saw an update on Jake Heidbretter's status earlier today on the Twitter sphere. It says he's officially questionable for tonight's game. I will see where he goes and what he does in terms of that. But I just want to know what this team is going to be capable of when it comes to some of the pieces that are going to be missing here. Like we heard about DJ Douglas, of course, and we heard about Jake Heidbreder, of course. And if they don't have Jake, where's the scoring going to come from? What's the magic number tonight? That's typically kind of how you look at a game, is what the magic number will be when you hit out in Wyoming. And now Wyoming is a interesting place to play. It is maybe one of the underrated, toughest places to play, just simply because of the altitude situation. But this is an opponent that you feel is just on a level with you, if not a little bit above. You're above this team. And so the hope is that you can find a way to win on the road, because you go through the step-by-step process of what this team has moving forward in its final 6 games. And we heard Tony talk about this earlier today. Tony was laying it out in terms of the momentum you could build off of a game tonight. And we know in the world of sports, the mantra is the most important game is the next one. And tonight's the most important game of the season. It just is because of that. And so I'm sure fans are obviously feeling like if a win is yielded tonight on the road in what is considered, I would say, a tough place to play. I'm not necessarily saying the crowd in Wyoming is the most scintillating out there, but they get crazy up there in cowpoke country. You set yourself up for a massive game on Saturday in terms of what ramifications can come from it. I've talked about it all season, or at least the last couple of weeks, of, if you're going to be where you're seated in the conference, you need to gauge yourself in, are you capable of an upset in that conference tournament? And can this team have that ability to do so? I think they do on the results of what we've seen so far, despite 0-6 against the top 4 of this conference. It's been relatively tight. It's not been 20-point losses here and there. It has been arm's length away, couple possessions here and there, flip the other direction, and you're having a conversation of maybe stealing one against one of these teams. And so my process of talking about this team is obviously the game-by-game, step-by-step side of it. But I know it's a tough road for this team because of the volatility of what basketball presents to you on a night-in, night-out basis. And tonight can be volatile in terms of it. But I have faith that there's some pieces here that are stepping up in a big way that can make an impact when you have some dogs down, right? So I'm looking forward to the result tonight. If Fresno State gets a win, folks, you got to get down to the Save Mart Center Saturday. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's a 5 p.m. game on a national stage on CBS Sports Network. Like, no better time to showcase if this team is capable of beating one of those top 4 teams in the conference than right now. Because I have firm faith that they have the capability to do so if they have an opportunity to play the way they do at home, which has been tight pretty much every time against every opponent they faced in the conference. And so I like the chances there. I'm not guaranteeing wins, but I'm guaranteeing the idea that this team competes. We've seen this now in this conference. They're going to compete tonight. It's going to be gutsy. Not having Jake's, if Jake doesn't play tonight, Jake Heidbreder doesn't play tonight, things get a little bit tougher, certainly. But these players are capable of stepping up in these moments, and I hope they have a capable moment here on the road in what should be a very interesting game. And that's quite simply what I want to say about this team tonight and what I look forward to it, because I really do enjoy watching this team play. I really do. Jorge, you probably enjoy watching this team play as well. I really like this team, and I want the most out of this team.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching some games. I mean, I got to be honest with you, not all games are great, but at the same time, this is cool. I went to it, and I follow them. And from last year that we saw, what happened last year to this year, we love what we're watching now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I didn't have fun last year, Jorge.
It was not fun.
I didn't have fun watching this team play last year. I'm having some fun. And they're kind of doing what I was laying out in terms of the path. And like I said, is 10 wins there in the conference? I mean, the schedule is certainly in front of them in terms of it. Am I guaranteeing that? God, no. Basketball's crazy. But you get to like that 9-11 or 10-10 range in conference play, and you're kind of in that position where you're going to be playing some teams. If you get through the play-in round of the conference tournament, then you're going to be set up into the top 4 playing in that tournament. And I want to know if this team can get to day 3. Day 3 would be so massive in terms of what the perspective of this program can be going into the Pac-12. Day 3, I firmly believe, can be an attainable goal if some guys step up into the situations they have. I know this team has been depleted a little bit in the injury side. I'm not calling that as an expectation, but what I'm saying is, man, I can dream about that idea. Because if you asked me last year if I believe this could be a day 3 team in the conference tournament, if that's the capability, if that's the ceiling, then I would have said, I don't know, man. I really don't know based off of what happened last year. But is improvement not the goal here for this group? And the year-to-year improvement certainly has been tangible. And so that's all I'm saying about this basketball team is that I have a lot of hope about this group. I have a lot of hope and belief because I've seen the pieces here. I've seen the way Vance's coaching and Vance's ability to get guys open in his system. We saw it last year. Guys weren't hitting the shots. Guys are now hitting the shots a little bit more. And this team's winning a few more games and is vastly more interesting to watch right now. So tonight matters, certainly. I'm not trying to put the weight of the world on tonight, but man, momentum is great. Momentum's fantastic. Beating the Cowboys would be so awesome tonight in terms of it. We haven't really had a game where I sat there and said, oh, yeah, the Bulldogs kind of stepped back there. I think the last one I theoretically could really say is where I felt like that about this team was the Bakersfield game itself. Where I'm like, that probably is one they probably should have had. But all of the games that we played in this conference has either been at expectation or above expectation. All I'm asking for is, a little hope and belief that this team is capable of going a little bit before, a little bit higher than the expectation. And it's not like I'm setting an expectation.
It's not unreasonable.
It's not unreasonable.
It's not unreasonable.
I am an irrational Fresno State fan. That's where I'm at here as a fan. I'm talking as a fan. And if I'm every other fan that's out there thinking the same thing, talking about this basketball team, who I'm telling you, I'm grabbing tickets Saturday. I want to see this team go up on a national TV stage up against New Mexico, a team they only lost by 11 to at the Pit, when last year they lost by 30 at the Pit. It was dead in 10 minutes, that game last year. This year's game, competitive as hell. And that's all I'm saying. I'm just trying to get in the mindset of, I think this team has an ability to play at a level that, basketball's funny, man. The possessions and the way things can turn. If you keep it close, get it to 5 minutes, and you're feeling close in that game, there's belief there. The victories can find you. So I can't wait. I can't wait to see what this looks like. I know I'm getting the cart before the horse because I'm thinking about Saturday. Tonight matters, though. Tonight's so massive against Wyoming. I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to listen to it, too. I think the tip's at 5:30, so we're going to be really eyeing that before we go on the air for sure at 7 o'clock. Jorge might give me a score update during our game tonight.
Yeah, I'll probably be watching here.
So, I can't wait. So, you're predicting a win tonight, Jorge?
Yeah, I'll take one. Take it.
I'll take one, too. Big night for Gorey tonight. Big night.
Big night.
Big night for Wilson Jocks. Big night for Zayan.
Also, I just saw the guy we were supposed to call on the phone on.
Yeah, maybe. Do we let him in? Do we let him in?
Let him in.
All right, let's take a
Let's
break.
call him on the phone and then let him in.
Let's see if he's available. Huh? Gabe Camarillo is coming on next on 1430 ESPN.
I swear, this furnace barely kept us warm all winter.
Tell me about it. And did you see our latest gas bill? It's higher again. I'm over this.
At this point, I'm ready to wear 3 jackets in the house.
Well, maybe we should do what Sally did.
Sally across the street?
Yep. She got her furnace tune-up from Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. Now her systems run efficiently, exactly the way it's supposed to.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm. And she only paid $99 for their furnace tune-up special.
Okay, that's it. I'm calling them.
You should. And they give you a 2-hour booking window, so you're not stuck waiting around all day.
For over 45 years, Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating has proudly kept Valley homes comfortable and energy efficient. Schedule your $99 furnace tune-up today and get your system running right. Call 559-785-1212. That's 559-785-1212. Or visit leesair.com. CLN number 635355.
AC, heat, and plumbing, you just call Lee's. It's easy as calling Lee's. Lee's AC, Lee's AC, plumbing and heat, yeah. Lee's AC.
At Helena Agri-Enterprises, we're committed to helping you make the best agronomic decisions for your farm. That's why we combine cutting-edge technology with superior product. Helena's agri-intelligence solutions use in-depth analysis to identify potential problems in the field before they take root. Combined with a complete line of high-quality crop production and crop protection inputs, Helena has the tools to help you increase productivity, enhance performance, and maximize your return on investment. Contact your local Helena representative or authorized dealer to create the right plan for your farm with Helena products and agri-intelligence solutions.
Great food brings people together, and Lynn's Restaurant Group brings a flavor. From office meetings to family celebrations, Lynn's Restaurant Group makes catering easy with full-service on-site cooking, professional buffet setups, or simple pickup options. Choose from 8 standout restaurants: Spicy J's, J-Pot, Oiza, Hino Uishi, Ramen Hayashi, Lynn's Fusion, Ichi Shabu, and JT, all in one place at lynn'srestaurantgroup.com. Or place your catering order fast on the Lynn's Restaurant Group app.
From the roar of Valley Children's Stadium to the heart of the Red Wave, Fresno State football ignites the Valley, and Precision Civil Engineering is proud to help power that momentum. Named 2024's best engineering firm by the Business Journal, Precision Civil Engineering delivers top-tier planning, surveying, and design building, the backbone of the Central Valley. Proud partners of Fresno State Athletics, because when the dogs rise, the Valley rises. Go Dogs!
About it? You can call Bowman and Associates, your local crop insurance specialist. They've been writing crop insurance for almost 40 years. Call Roger Kent or Quinn Bowman today and ask about crop hail insurance for stone fruit and grapes. They can design a private hail coverage that is specifically designed to meet your financial needs. Coverage can be purchased anytime and will go into effect within 72 hours. Easy to buy with no hassles. Don't gamble on your financial investment. Call the Ag experts today. Bowman and Associates. Remember, for a green thumb investment that equalizes Mother Nature, call Bowman and Associates. 499-2020. That's 499-2020.
Bowman and Associates, the crop insurance specialist.
License number OF64178.
When you want to give a gift everyone loves, give the gift of great food. Lynn's Restaurant Group gift cards work at all their restaurants: Spicy J's, J-Pot, Oiza, Hino Uishi, Ramen Hayashi, Lynn's Fusion, Ichi Shabu, and JT. So they can choose what they're craving. Perfect for birthdays, holidays, thank you gifts, or those last-minute presents that still feel thoughtful. Purchase your Lynn's Restaurant Group gift card in-store or on the Lynn's Restaurant Group app. Fast, easy, and always a hit. Lynn's Restaurant Group gift cards. One gift, endless flavor.
The Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. Return to the Mac. Return to Gabe here on 1430 ESPN here. Let me get your mic on the board so I can officially introduce you. Gabe Camarillo of KMPH fame. How are we doing, Gabe?
I'm doing great, but it's very wet outside, and everyone's kind of driving a little slower, as they should. Of course. But it took me a little longer than I expected to get here from Fox 26.
Hey, you're here, though, and you're ready to roll around and to see some teams, see some playoff action tonight. We'll get to all that, the high school side of things, because there's a lot of intrigue to all the different divisions out there. But
I'm pumped up.
I'm pumped up tonight, too. We got a game. You're going to be at some games. And I'm looking forward to it. But I want to piggyback, because you were listening a little bit before we're talking about Fresno State tonight. Basketball. I do want to get to just a little bit of the conference playoff or the schedule talk with football as well. If you want to,
yeah,
dive
absolutely.
Into that,
I'm down for everything.
So tonight against Wyoming, Fresno State down a couple guys. You were there, listening to Vance Wahlberg talk about the injury announcements. They beat Air Force by 30, right? Is that when he kind of revealed that situation? But
just bad luck. How much bad luck can this team have, especially after last year when they lost David Douglas Jr. to almost the same exact injury to the same exact knee? So I feel for DJ, and he's out for the season.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about the Highbreeder news. I'm not sure he's going to play tonight. I don't see why you would play him tonight.
Questionable, yeah.
When the back spasms seem to be acting up. And what Wahlberg said on Saturday after the game was their trainer, Rachel, doesn't think it's a good idea for him to go tonight, and probably they want to save him for New Mexico on Saturday.
Maybe you stretch his back when you fly up to the altitude of 7,000 up at Laramie.
That's another thing, though.
Does anything do that to you?
They need as many as they can. They need as many bodies because it's going to get to them. The altitude always gets to everybody in Laramie. I heard Jack Furtick say yesterday on this station that Tarkanian's been at Laramie 3 different times with all 3 of his teams at Vegas, Fresno, and Long Beach State, and they've never won in Laramie. Tark has never won in Laramie, Wyoming, ever.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's how tough it is to win there. So
they were in a crazy dogfight last year, and I remember like crazy 3 points dropping for Wyoming to get back into that game last year, and then they won in some overtime fashion, which some guy got crazy hot, I remember, last year. So it was a little heartbreaking last year when they went to Laramie. So they like to bounce back on it this year.
If you're Fresno State, though, you tell yourself, we have to beat Wyoming. Like the bottom half of the league. You can lose to the top half of the league, but you got to beat the bottom half of the league.
No, because I want to be in that 7 or 6 game, right? I want to be here is 4-2. I think that's realistic. I think that's if you have everybody firing on all the cylinders, 4-2 to me is the highest ceiling we could get.
Okay, so let's look at the remaining schedule.
Wyoming will win tonight if you can get it.
Yeah.
If you can grab it. I'm not New Mexico's tough. I'm not going to count that as a win. So that's 1-1. Colorado State is pretty down this year. You beat them pretty good at home. I know Fort Collins is a tough location to play. I'd like them to beat that. That's on the iffy side.
I'm shaking my head because, you beat Colorado State here in Fresno, but I have to look it up.
Yeah.
It's been a very long time since the Bulldogs won at Moby Arena.
Streaks can be broken. We like that.
I mean, they broke a streak last time they beat the Rams, and the Rams had won like 10+ straight over the Bulldogs before.
The Rams are, and it's a big one for the Dogs if they can leapfrog the Rams.
If you could split either 1-1 against New Mexico, Colorado State, you'll take it.
Yeah. Boise, I think, is vulnerable at home because everybody's vulnerable in Save Mart Center. I've kind of said this a little bit, and Boise's kind of a vulnerable team a little bit, and I feel like that's a coin flip game you could win.
Last year, when Boise made the tournament, Boise was like in a 5-point game with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah,
and I think this Boise team is worse than last year's team. So I would agree with you. Yes,
San Jose State you should absolutely beat at home. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. That should absolutely be a win for the Bulldogs.
Okay, so your wins, you're saying the dream is 4-2. So you're saying wins against Wyoming, Colorado State, Boise State, San Jose State.
And I'm not gonna say anything's guaranteed at Grand Canyon. Like, I saw that game against Grand Canyon last time, and there was a man who had the most ferocious duck I've ever seen on Fresno State in that game. I don't know if you were there, but
so in your world, Fresno State finishes the regular season
10-10. In the conference.
16-15, 10-10 in the conference. So one game over 500 going into the Mountain West tournament.
That'd be like...
That's honestly really good. A 10-win improvement over the year before.
Think about that, right?
Yeah.
And so, but I'm not... Here's where I'm running into it.
They need Highbreeder for that. So and they only win tonight with Highbreeder.
If they win tonight without Highbreeder...
It's not going to happen. You need Highbreeder to win tonight. You can beat Air Force without Highbreeder. Anyone can beat Air Force without their top 2 players.
I like what Bastion Rebay's been providing a little bit lately. And so I've seen him step up into the stats side of things, and maybe he's kind of filling in a little bit more. He's kind of progressed a little bit more. I've seen him improve a little bit more throughout his usage. Maybe he's a guy that kind of turns in. I'm not saying he's Highbreeder, but maybe hit a few threes, get a little bit more extended out there. What I've noticed about this Fresno State team is when Wilson Jocks is, offense flows well. When he is not, the team stalls out. And so that's been all the key of it, is just keeping him out of the foul trouble situation, because the team is consistently hitting below 60 in terms of the point total when he's out early due to foul trouble. When he's on the court and playing, the offense is touching 80 or 90.
And I think that's because of his rebounding. Like he's such a presence in the paint. It helps this team because this team needs extra chances. They take so many shots from beyond the arc. They're trying to get as many threes. And that's why I think those two injuries in particular, Heidbreeder and Douglas Jr., they really hurt you because those are your top two shooters. I know this team has been preaching, let's not just rely on the threes. Let's get inside. Let's draw fouls. Let's get contact. Let's go to the line. That's actually how they beat Colorado State earlier this year because Heidbreeder had shot like 16 free throws or something like that. But, I mean, does Bastian Reber get to the paint enough and get to the foul line enough to offset any type of Heidbreeder shooting that you're missing?
Here's the thing, though. He has that little knack to kind of draw some stuff. Like, he gets some calls.
You know what he has a knack to do?
Yeah.
Get under the other team's skin.
He does. That's why I like him. That's why I'm like, because UNLV, if he doesn't get popped in the face or whatever he tried, in that technical foul situation.
That guy got a tech on the bench.
Exactly.
He fouled out and somehow got his 6th foul in a college basketball game because of Bastian Reber.
Bastian Reber is a huge part of that
Gibbs
UNLV
Longhorn,
comeback.
that's who it was, right?
Yeah.
Gibbs Longhorn, their
best player.
He was a huge
part of that
for Vegas
comeback against UNLV, right? So, like, that's why I really like the idea of a guy who just kind of irritates people.
I think Stickman, with Heidbreeder potentially out tonight, Stickman might get a start at shooting guard, and defensively, he's great. I think Fresno State's going to have to win an ugly defensive battle if Heidbreeder's out.
Take advantage of the transition. Get your 2-on-3s or 3-on-2s in certain situations. Take advantage of that.
Very similar to the first Bulldogs-Cowboys game here at the Save Mart Center where it was slow, but it was
63-60, I believe. The
yes,
final was,
and Wyoming had 2 shots in the final 20-something seconds to go ahead or to tie, and they missed both. And both were because of good defense by Deshaun Gorey.
The Bulldogs have rarely really been blown out this year, like in any terms of things. Like every game they played, outside of I think the San Diego State game.
And the Utah State game.
And the Utah State
at
game.
Utah State.
Because it was always kind of like a 10, 15-point margin for that. Even though in the first half they were
I should say second half of Utah State.
Yeah.
That's when they really let it slip.
Yeah.
But besides those instances, you're right.
You were in it with Nevada both times, who's a top 4 team. You were in it with I think New Mexico was like a pretty decent performance, all things considered, down in the pit, right? I think
Gorey had 31 that night, so you got to see the potential with him if he were to stay at State. But
and they didn't have Zan Collins for the San Diego State game, right? So, what do you evaluate from that performance against the other top?
It's progress, but it's only progress if you bring back everyone from this season next season.
Yeah.
Because you need to have continuity to have success in college basketball, and that's what Boise State does. They keep their players for the most part. They lose very little. Nevada has struggled at times to keep their players. New Mexico definitely has struggled to keep their players, but for the most part, like the San Diego States, the Utah States, the continuity with those programs, like Falslev didn't transfer out of Utah State this offseason, and now he's the best player on the best team in the conference. So if Fresno State can somehow keep Gorey, keep Zayon, keep Wilson Jock, those are your top, and the Heidbreeder's out of eligibility, so you got to find someone to replace him, but I'm looking to next season because there's no championship aspirations this season.
No, because everything changes. The cards get reshuffled because of the Pac-12, right?
Right, yeah. And oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, you're right. I just forgot. We have to play Gonzaga twice. Thanks for reminding me.
So, yeah, we're reshuffling the cards completely, but at least you want some momentum here. And that's why I'm like, ceiling here is, like, the floor is you're out day one in the tournament. Like, that's all what matters here. We're building to that tournament in Vegas. And, like, are you going to be a day 1, day out team in that plan? Are you going to be a day 2 team that loses to the top seed? Are you going to surprise people and be a day 3 team and get to a semifinal?
I think Fresno State should aspire to be an NCAA tournament team. And they should be building now to reach that goal. And I think for some reason, to me, I don't know why, but they have to raise a bunch of more money for NIL. I just think that has to be
certainly
a number one priority, getting enough money to keep your players.
What better marketing tool to then just be on that tournament a lot longer, right? In terms of that, and winning tonight, like I said, sells tickets for Saturday. That's just what it is, right? I think everybody knows that. I know attendance has been up, attendance has been better. Right?
Because the games have been better. They've been closer.
Yeah. And I think Saturday is going to be a really important game for a lot of different reasons, not just for what the result was, but it's on national TV at 5 o'clock. It's a big opponent, an opponent you might face in that tournament who you might have a chance to upset against, where a lot of perception is that New Mexico's a really good team out there in the Mountain West. You know, they're on the fringes of that last four in, last four out situation, right? And I really think this is a time where you can surprise some people. I've been waiting for that in terms of it. I know UNLV was an awesome win and all that, but this is another level to me. Is this New Mexico game on Saturday?
New Mexico is like 10 points better than UNLV.
Yeah.
And UNLV's middle of the pack, just like Fresno State. That's why both their games between the Bulldogs and Rebels were close games. I agree with you. New Mexico is huge on Saturday, especially because it's the time slot it is, 5 o'clock p.m. at the
CBS
St.
Sports
Center.
Network?
Yeah, I mean, that's perfect for families. 1,000 more people go to that game if Fresno State wins tonight.
Exactly. And that's why tonight.
If they lose tonight, then there will be 1,000 less people.
What's the old adage? The most important game is the next one.
Right. But also, when it comes to Fresno, the most important game is the last one if I want to go to this one on Saturday or not.
Exactly. So I want a massive crowd Saturday. I want at least maybe the biggest crowd of the year on Saturday.
If they win tonight, they'll get it. I don't know. I just think tonight's a huge game, like you were saying in your last segment, because you need to build on the momentum of a 30-point win.
Exactly.
I know it's against Air Force. Everyone's beating them by 30. But just having a 30-point win is something this current regime hasn't had in conference play. You got to use that momentum from that. Everyone's confident because they just scored in the double digits. Like Reber scored double figures on Saturday. Gory, Jacques. I'm blanking on somebody's name. Someone else did. Zayon Collins did.
Yeah.
I love Zayon Collins for his floater bag.
Yeah.
His floaters are, he's hitting them. And also just his leadership this season.
Yeah.
He's been a steady leader for this team, and they're going to need him big time tonight if Highbeater's out.
Unless you got anything else, let's switch to it from the basketball conversation. We don't need to beat a dead horse on that. I wanted to get your thoughts because we had the news break last week in terms of the schedule for Fresno State. Pac-12 schedule. Hey, Pac-12. I got to get used to saying that. I've been screwing it up already with the Mountain West Pac-12 side of things. But we have a new format of a schedule here. Bulldogs, of course, playing 7 conference games. Laying out real quick for the people who don't know, or you're living on a rock. After Week 12, which is when Fresno State hosts Colorado State, we will know who will be in the conference championship. We will have another week of regular season play to essentially boost resumes for the Pac-12 teams that are playing in the conference championship. I would imagine they're going to play some top teams. It's not a pseudo playoff because they'll already determine who's going to be playing and where it's going to be. But slotted right now is a San Diego State matchup, I would imagine. That's kind of where they're sitting. It could change. It could not. It's going to be at Bulldog Stadium, whoever the opponent is. But what do you think of this flex idea of the conference grooving a better resume to the conference teams that are going to be playing for a title at the end of the year?
I think it's especially beneficial if there were to be a tie between two teams. I don't know if that's possible if there's an odd number of conference games already, but just if there was – last year especially, there was just so much build-up, the four-way tie.
Yeah.
I think that is kind of scarred me for a long time. And I know Fresno State wasn't even involved
God we weren't
in it.
there because I would have lost my mind arguing it for years.
Because, you would have been competing with computer numbers.
I still think New Mexico is the best team in
this is a way to not let computer numbers decide it, but let actual competition on the field decide it.
Because everyone has played each other.
Yeah.
That's the important thing. Everyone's played each other, and maybe you get a circle of 3 teams who beat each other and all have the same record, and then you get into the numbers of it and what that'll look like. But at least this conference has the affordability to say, well, Fresno State beat Boise, and Boise beat San Diego, and let's say whoever San Diego beats Fresno, then, whatever, we can go to the head-to-head situations and figure it out in terms of that. But at least it's afforded that because the conference is so small. Instead of gauging on the idea of like, well, Virginia should be in this conference championship for the ACC, even though we know Miami's probably inherently better, right? Or Duke or, something like that where the ACC faced it. And then we're having a whole weird conversation about it.
So I just counted. There's 7 conference games concrete, and then the 8th one is to be determined.
Which is
so there could be 2 4-3 teams or 2 5-2 teams that are trying to compete for a spot in the championship game. I like that there is an open week for those 2 teams to settle it on the field.
Well, hold on. Let me just clarify. Right? They don't after week 12. The conference championships determines.
That's so you don't think that there would be a tiebreaker in that 8th?
No, because it's a
game.
non-conference game in week 13. It is a final week of no conference. It does not matter to the conference, whatever. The conference championship is determined after week 12, after the 7 games are played. And so then the week 13 game is a non-conference game, and they will groove the 2 conference champion participants schedule to face, I guess, the best possible teams so that they can beat a good team, as opposed to maybe getting a.
But what if that team were to beat that?
Well, then there you go. That's the risk you face.
Then they would. I hate to use this word, but they would screw themselves out of a CFP spot.
That's exactly the point of it, though. And you're trying to just.
I misunderstood this when this was announced, and now I hate it. Actually,
you really hate it. Okay,
you went from me liking this to me despising this because you could actually ruin a team's chances that would have otherwise been in a better spot to help represent your conference in the CFP.
Let's play it out for a season like a 2013 Fresno State season, right? Instead, limited the conference schedule to 7 games. Fresno State was going to make the conference championship anyway. I'm pretty sure they were locked in no matter what they did against that San Jose State team in 2013, right? But instead of playing San Jose State, you play Boise, who wasn't going to make it.
What if the conference made you play San Jose State? Or what if they put you against a team that you wouldn't otherwise have had to beat, but now you have to beat them and then they beat you?
The quote in the qualification is, the matchups will be determined at the best interest of the Pac-12.
Okay, so the best interest would be I'm going to pick the worst team in the conference to play my best team in the conference.
So you argue that's the best interest of the Pac-12 is
the conference does not want to put a good team against your best team.
So you think Fresno State would play Oregon State again at home?
I think Fresno State would play the worst possible team if they're number one in the conference.
Because Oregon State is probably the worst team in the conference going into next year, right?
I would argue Washington State's competing for that low spot too. Yeah, those two teams.
Or Colorado State.
Colorado State's going to be rebuilding with Jim Mora.
With Jim Mora and all that. But those are kind of the teams you would think. And
yeah, I don't like that now that you say it's going to be determined before that final week what the conference championship looks like. That's a bad idea. If you have two teams that are tied, why not make them play each other in that 8th week? Maybe they'll change their minds if they make any kind of sense.
Well, see, Gabe, the fan suggestion was you make a 4-team playoff in the conference. 1 plays 4, 2 plays 3, and then whoever wins those 2 games is playing in the conference championship.
That is what I thought it was, honestly.
That's what I was hoping it was. And the only issue is these ADs want to guarantee 6 home games. And when you do that with seeding in the final week, you don't guarantee that. And I'm imagining that's exactly what the hurdle was. It's like if somebody is a 1 seed and the 4 seed only played 5 home games, do they get the 6th home game automatically and it doesn't matter because you were a 1 seed? You still have to play on the road at it because you have to guarantee it, or whatever the weird situation. Maybe you have 3 teams in that playoff that only played 5 home games and they need the 6th home game, and it's dollars that matter.
They just needed to pick up another team, and we would not be in this mess.
Well, that too, right? That would have been nice. 9 teams. Maybe they're still working on that too, right?
Maybe they're hoping that sack to the MAC is going to help the Hornets get in position to be an actual help to the Pac-12 instead of being a drain.
Right. Yeah, it's a little messy. It's a little messy right now in terms of it. I want to know what the execution is of it. I frankly don't think they're going to affect the final schedule as much as they think. I really think they're going to set with the results they have. San Diego State's the team that Fresno's slated to play. I kind of would like to play them again. I feel like that's the team that I would want to see Fresno State battle at home after last year. A little revenge for that homecoming.
Or, San Diego State could have just as good of a defense, and that keeps you out of the CFP. Fresno State has a great chance week 1, by the way, like at USC, to put a stamp on what kind of season they're going to have. Everyone's going to decide what they think of 2026 based off that first game at USC. They're going to say, oh my gosh, we have a chance to make history and finally get over the hump, get in a New Year's Six Bowl. Or they're going to say, next year again.
Jorge's shaking his head because he likes USC over there. This has been the most sacrilegious thing that Jorge's.
Fresno State's beaten their quarterback before.
Yeah.
Jaden Mayava, his freshman year at Vegas.
Yeah.
They had this play dialed up. It was going to give UNLV the lead. Receiver drops Mayava's pass. Breadbasket had it right in his hands. Drops it. Fresno State wins on a Lavelle Bailey pick that day. I remember it well.
Good thing is USC plays week 0, so we've got some tape. Fresno State will have some tape on USC.
True. Matt Entz, if he remembers enough from Lincoln Riley's offense, maybe that'll help him out. Probably not.
I don't know. Lincoln Riley doesn't seem to innovate very much anymore. So
I was going to say, it's been too long for Entz. Maybe he won't remember, but hopefully he kept some notes.
2 years feels like forever, I guess. Yeah, right. All right. We're overdue for a break, so let's take it. And we got to talk high school football, high school basketball tonight and this week. So let's dive into it next. Take a break. Gabe sticks around, closes the show with us. We'll be right back on 1430 ESPN.
Still thinking of chain link or wrought iron for your fence? There's a smarter option. Steel panels from Pacific Steel Supply right here in Fresno. Get a clean, modern look with more privacy, long-lasting durability, and customization options like color and finish, all at a cost-effective price. And Pacific Steel Supply will match or beat any company's pricing. Need it to be fast? They offer around-the-clock service. Get your free quote online at PacificSteelSupplyInc.com. Pacific Steel Supply, built strong, priced right.
At Chichancy Gold Resort and Casino, we're serving up a deal you don't want to miss. Introducing Deal and Dine, where your game earns you a feast. Buy in for just $200 at any table game. Play for 1 hour and enjoy a free buffet meal at the California Market Buffet. Valid Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays from 12 a.m. to 10 p.m. Play big, eat big, win big. Deal and Dine, only at the Chichancy Gold Resort and Casino.
Introducing The Sidebar, a brand new open-air beer garden at Me and Ed's Coney Island Grill in River Park. Experience a new way to catch a game, hang with friends, and enjoy new appetizers, char-grilled burgers, salads, wings with over 10 house-made sauces, and of course, world-famous Me and Ed's pizza. Thirsty? Try our self-poured taps with over a dozen craft beers, wines, ciders, and craft seltzers. Plus a full bar with an impressive selection of tequilas, whiskeys, and craft cocktails. The Sidebar at Me and Ed's Coney Island Grill, now open in River Park.
Fresno State Baseball and their hard-hitting Diamond Dogs will be lighting up Pete Biden Field at Bob Bennett Stadium all season long. Right next door will be your Fresno State softball team at Margie Wright Diamond. The Bulldogs want your community support, and we all know Bulldog baseball and softball isn't the same without the Red Wave. Come out and support your Diamond Dogs as baseball and softball compete for another Mountain West championship. And remember, go Dogs!
Citizens Business Bank is a proud sponsor of the Fresno State Bulldogs. Hi, I'm Susan Woosner, Senior Vice President and Manager of Citizens Business Bank in Fresno. We proudly support California's thriving small to medium-sized businesses. Our relationship-based approach and straightforward business model set us apart in the financial services industry. We are a banking partner that understands your industry and your company. Whether you're expanding operations or planning for the future, Citizens Business Bank is here to help ensure your banking experience is smooth, convenient, and aligned with your success. My team strives to build long-term banking relationships by getting to personally know you and your business, and then providing you with a wide array of powerful solutions customized to your unique financial needs. Visit cbbank.com to learn how Citizens Business Bank can help contribute to your success. That's cbbank.com. Citizens Business Bank, N.A., Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Citrus season is in full swing. When harvest pressure is on, Kubota delivers dependable power, easy operation, and the performance growers rely on in the Grove. There's still time to get the right tractor this season at Pioneer Equipment, your authorized Kubota dealer. With Fresno and Reedley locations, Pioneer Equipment, your authorized Kubota dealer, has the equipment, parts, and service you need when timing matters most. Make this citrus season count. Visit Pioneer Equipment, your authorized Kubota dealer today at pioneerequipmentca.com.
When you're vacationing in your RV, there are some things you can always count on. Laying out on a hammock, waking up to birds chirping, and board games with the family.
What? It's not cheating.
Frank, you're scaring the kids.
Oh, come on, guys. We're having fun. It's family time.
With Progressive, your RV is protected 24/7, so you're prepared for whatever you don't see coming.
Technically, it's a loophole.
It's a children's board game. You're a grown man, Frank.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
Say goodbye and head on out for our broadcast tonight. And so, Gabe, pleased to have him stick around and talk some basketball tonight. We got some big ones on the schedule tonight. Gabe, give us a lowdown. Where are you heading tonight?
I'm headed to Buchanan hosting Bullard first. That's the Division I quarterfinal. Number 2, C. Buchanan hosting number 7 Bullard. Number 2, Buchanan, they have a lot to like about it. They got size, they're long, they're really stout defensively. the only team to hold Clovis North under 40 points this season. And Clovis North, they play fast. They have a great offense. They're hosting Clovis West tonight.
Yep.
That told me everything about Buchanan. They're a team that can take away your best scorer. And for Bullard, that's Javance Coleman Jr. So how Javance does, I think, is going to determine if the Knights can pull off the upset. He's going to have a Kemba Walker 2011 UConn kind of game where he's just taking over in the second half if Bullard wants to pull off the upset. If not, Buchanan can get some shooting outside with Reed Sweeney and Demandby. They could have Josiah Perry take over a quarter. They have a lot of ways to hurt you.
You're at McLean Madera tonight. I like this McLean team. I saw them play. We saw them beat Central East earlier this year in a fun little matchup with them. McLean, I like this bracket, by the way.
At their new gym, it's just open.
The new digs.
Madera High is very battle tested. They're not going to be shying away from the McLean Highlanders. McLean, they're athletic. They have Demetrius Simon, some football, gridiron hoops guys. So they're athletic. That's going to be how they beat some of these teams in Division 4.
They beat Corcoran 89-36 last.
Yeah, they're just going to run past you. That's kind of how they are. They're just going to get easy layups with the fast break. And if Madera can limit them in transition, that's how they pull off that upset. And that's also a 2-7 matchup.
Yeah. And then you're going to see us, Fresno Christian and Kingsburg. We're going to be down there.
In D3.
Fresno Christian just keeps winning, man. 27-1.
And that's crazy to think because they lost
to Selma.
Their 3 best players from last year's state finalists team.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and now I'm looking at them with a better record and a better division. They won Division 4 last year, beating Wenatchee.
Got all the way to SAC.
Lost in it's like a very close game until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
This year, it's all Leon Maddock from what I'm hearing.
Did you see his dunk?
I did.
Yeah.
He posterized somebody last week. I wish I was there to get it on 26, but it's okay. No worries.
Right.
Leon Maddock, he's the son of Ed Maddock, who was a longtime Fresno City College coach, was at Buchanan also recently, and now he's just dad watching in the stands. And Leon Maddock also helped Kerman a couple years ago win a Valley championship. So he's been there. He's done that.
Is there anything more mystifying than how Jensen Hirschkorn can block a shot in basketball?
What's mystifying is if they were to lose tomorrow, and I'm hoping that it's a close game. I don't want either team to lose between Fresno Christian and Kingsburg. What's crazy if he loses tomorrow, if he loses today, tomorrow he'll be throwing bullpen for the Kingsburg baseball team and probably going to be touching 97. And he's probably going to get drafted in June for Major League Baseball.
Crazy.
But he's their best player in basketball at Kingsburg High School.
The dude is mystifying.
6'7", long, athletic, and I honestly think he could take over just from beyond the arc. He has a good jump shot.
Right.
He's around the rim a lot, but he's also capable of hitting a shot if he has to. And they might have to have him do that because Fresno Christian's going to be scoring a lot tonight, I think.
We called the Clovis West, Clovis North game last week, and we had both coaches, Clovis North coach on and Bakersfield Christian coach come on, and the whole real crux of the argument about D1 was what 3 through 5 was going to look like, right? Mm-hmm. How do you feel it shook out between the 3 through 5 seeds and how Clovis North was able to avoid the St. Joe's side of the bracket, and Memorial's going to have to travel to Christian tonight in that game?
Yeah, so in Division 1, I thought the top 4 seeds should be league champions. You should reward, if you won a league, you should get a home game. You should reward those. Those are weeks-long awards. Like, you don't just get it after winning one game. You have to beat every team in the league twice, and you have to lose less than 2 league games usually to get a league championship. There should be a reward for that. And there wasn't this year. They just ripped it off of Max Preps and said, these are the seeds. Hopefully that changes moving forward. Because, yes, Max Preps, they take into account who you played, how much you beat them by. Very similar to what they do in the NCAA tournament when they rely on the net rankings. Mm-hmm. There's also pushback when it comes to college basketball about the net rankings. I think they should go back to honestly looking at body of work. Common opponents was ignored this year. If they looked at common opponents, they would see Bakersfield Christian beat Sheldon, which beat Clovis North. Memorial beat Clovis, which beat Buchanan. And I know Memorial also lost to Lincoln, which Clovis North beat. So there should be multiple head-to-head tiebreakers, or common opponent tiebreakers, I should say.
Yeah.
That were kind of ignored because it takes too long for the committee to go through every single one of them.
Right. It is very difficult to parse through. It's very difficult to kind of get the right answer because there's multiple right answers, and there's certainly everyone when there's multiple right answers, everybody thinks it's the wrong answer, right?
I think in this case, the right answer would have been, San Joaquin Memorial. They played good teams in their league. It wasn't like their league was a total cakewalk. There was Bullard High in there, who's a Division I team.
Yeah.
I think they should have been rewarded with the home game because they have, in my opinion, the best team in the town. They have Parker Spees, who's going to UC Irvine, and Sajin Sadu is a 4-year varsity starter,
Right.
and Silverstrom and Schalk. Those are young guys that are going to be next man up next year. They're going to be the top dogs, and they're key contributors on this year's team. So they're building for future teams, but this has a chance to be a championship team at San Joaquin Memorial. But because of the reliance on max preps and the ignorance of common opponents and just the eye test, who looks better when you run them out on the floor, they're just relying on a computer to tell them instead of human beings that actually watch these games. That's tough. That's tough to say to a San Joaquin Memorial, you have the best player in the city. You have some of the most athletic wings in the city. You have some of the best wins in the city and the best performances against St. Joseph and Etiwanda.
Only lost by 9 to St. Joe's.
Etiwanda's top 10 in the state, and Etiwanda only beat Memorial by 3.
Yeah.
You have all this from Memorial, but you're only the 5th best team in our section.
Yeah.
I think they're the best team in our city.
Wow. It's fascinating. And, well, you get to the side of the bracket, you're eventually going to have to beat St. Joe's anyway, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's selling or whether it's going to be at their gym.
I would have loved to see Buchanan Memorial because Parker Spees was originally a Buchanan
possible.
kid.
Hey,
Parker Spees could have been at Buchanan. He goes to San Joaquin Memorial. Imagine Buchanan with Parker Spees, right? They would have like a loaded squad. Spees is doing just fine at Memorial, but I wanted to see him go against the guys he grew up playing with.
Hey, Gabe, it's completely possible.
If Memorial wins on the road twice against 2 really good private school teams,
why not?
I know they're a private school, but it's tough to go to Bakersfield Christian, beat the defensive-minded Eagles, go to St. Joseph, beat everyone on that squad that's going to play college basketball or has all these offers. St. Joseph has a lot of Division I guys on that team.
We've seen crazy, though. And on the boys' side, we could see crazy. We've already seen crazy on the girls' side. I want to touch that real quick because what a fascinating D1 bracket this is, right? Because you have history happening this year with Clovis beating or winning the track. You were at the game?
I was at Clovis West, the game before they beat Central East.
But you weren't at the buzzer beater.
No, I wasn't. But it's crazy that it came down to that. Yeah. That's just how good Central East is. I think I left that game equally impressed with Central East as I was with Clovis managing to pull off that shot where full length of the court, Christian Leitner-esque, if you remember Grant Hill's pass.
Yeah.
This pass from Clovis High, just as good. And Clovis girls win on a buzzer beater to win the first track title, not won by Clovis West in over 20 years.
What do you make of it in the way it's shaping up in D1 girls?
It could be the loss that Clovis West needs to win a 14th straight Central Section title. This is going to get everyone's attention at Clovis West, losing by 10 to Clovis on their own court, and then seeing Clovis win this league title. And for Clovis West to lose their league title streak 20 straight years because of a wild, improbable buzzer beater, I'm sure they're fired up about that. And hungry dogs run faster. Clovis West is the hungrier team because they're the team that lost last. And Clovis High, they have to stay hungry. They have to remember that overtime loss that they had in the championship a year ago because I know they haven't forgot. I've talked to Sadie Singh.
Yeah.
They always remember the pain from that game last year, how close they came to ending the Clovis West dynasty. They want it badly this year. So Clovis High girls, they got to get past Central East again, but I like them in a rematch, a third of a trilogy between the two Clovis powers, West and Clovis High.
Well, I'm going to announce this right now. We are going to do one of the semifinals.
Okay.
On the girls' side Friday. We're gonna gauge how it all plays out tomorrow night. Are you going to go to any of the games tomorrow night? Or
I'll catch a few. It's my night off, but I want to see Clovis West versus St. Joseph. I think that's one of them. Or Carruthers.
Buchanan Central East is going to be good. Carruthers got Mission Oak.
Carruthers has Mission Oak, okay.
Yeah, and then Clovis West has St. Joe's on the 2-7 side. But, man, just thinking about it, if those top seeds advance and you've got like a Clovis Central East on one side, you've got a Clovis West and Carruthers on the other, I'm telling you, this D1, I am so excited to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, I'm excited for the next two nights. I mean, tonight you talked about Fresno Christian and Kingsburg, and that to me is the biggest game in town. Garza High School is also going to have
There's
a really
some great
good
ones
game
out there.
against
Garza
the
and
South Spartans. Yeah,
you got Tulare Union and Fresno High. You got Hoover and Arroyo Grande going at it.
I'm glad you brought it up. I'm here to say Fresno is going to upset Tulare tonight.
Wow.
Fresno High is a co-champion with Hoover, who's in a higher division. Hoover's hosting Arroyo Grande tonight in Division 2.
Yeah.
Fresno beat Hoover to share their league championship. Fresno has this point guard named Kai Alpha, who was really big in them beating Rigetti and in Santa Maria too, mind you.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling that Fresno can win a track meet against Tulare. Both these teams play up tempo. No one's going to be nobody is going to be caught off guard on Fresno High. I'm just going to say that. They're ready to win this game.
I can't wait. Gabe, appreciate it as always. Catch the highlights on KBH tonight.
Yep, on Fox 26.
Perfect, man. Appreciate you swinging by. We'll see you at some of the basketball games tonight, man, and we'll see you around.
All right, thank you, Phil.
Gabe Camarillo here on 1430. That's it for our show. Stay tuned. Later tonight, 6:45 pregame from Fresno Christian. Phil Bonatti here, calling it with Paul Metters. 7 o'clock tip. We'll see you then. 7 o'clock on 1430. See you then.
When you think of California business machines, it wouldn't surprise me if you automatically thought 3 cents.